The American dream: to own your own home, purchase commercial real estate, or that Airbnb you always wanted. Owning and managing property has its benefits, but what happens when things go wrong or seem too unreal to be true? One man has seen it all. Lucas Thomas, CEO and founder of RHM Real Financial Planning, who stands ready to help you navigate the real and unreal parts of the real estate business.
Hey everybody, welcome to Unreal Estate of Mind. My name is Lucas Thomas. With me today is Karl Kessler. He is one of my minions who helps me with helping create the show, but also with help creating the unreal stories that are going to be a very big part of Unreal State of Mind. So just like to introduce myself. Thank you for having me, Billings, Montana, and hopefully I can entertain you guys with the madness that is my everyday. And the reason I brought Karl in today is because most of the show is going to be about the crazy things that happens when you're a real estate investor, if you're a landlord, if you're doing anything that's real estate based. The whole point of the show is basically show you how quickly you're going to just start racking up crazy stories, whether you like it or not, right? It's not, because once you get into real estate, it's a people business, and there's nothing more insane than people, right? So pretty much the show is going to be essentially that over and over again is what's the craziest thing going on. And then in the future, we're going to start having a lot of locals, and you guys can tell me your unreal stories, because I'm really excited just to see how mad the Billings, Montana can get. I'm quite excited to hear from you guys. So but yeah, welcome to the show, Karl. Can you give us a little introduction about who you are, what you do, and then I will go do mine. Actually, no, let me go first. So just again, guys, my name is Lucas Thomas. I've been a real estate investor for 15 years. I've been a landlord, property manager for about 50 to 60 to 70% of that time. I manage properties in multiple states. I deal with craziness all over the country, and pretty much that's my background, and that's where all these stories come from, is just that career. And today I have Karl, who's been in the business for about 3-4 years now.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us a little bit how you got in the business, how you got here, what you're doing now, and basically why you're still in the business.
Yeah. Don't want to steal your lightning, but I have an unreal story of how I met you. That's where it all started. I had a sketchy Indeed ad that I found. I was trying to get into real estate, get licensed, or do something to make my life better. I typed in invoices on Indeed, and real estate investor populated because it's close to invoices. And I was like, how could that be a job? And I ended up on a 4-hour, too long Zoom call with Lucas and became his mentee. So yeah, from there, a sketchy Indeed ad turned into a mentorship and led me across the country for these crazy stories for all of you.
That's funny because that's like my curse is something that's supposed to be an hour, I'll somehow make it 3, and hopefully you're still entertained after 3. But yeah, I forgot about the sketchy Indeed ad. I wasn't even in charge of that. It was like one of my marketing people, and they're like, "Hey, you should do a sketchy Indeed ad." They didn't even tell me they're going to do a sketchy Indeed ad. They just said, "Hey, we're going to find you knuckleheads to go, or knucklehead / minions to go do real estate stuff with." And yeah, I didn't even know they were running a sketchy Indeed ad. And yeah, I'm glad to have you aboard. And yeah, it's been what? Yeah, I can't believe it's been 4 years already. So yeah, there you go. Just how we met is an unreal story. So that's how you got in. So let's talk about what you're doing now, and then why you're still in.
Yeah. So what I'm doing now, I have 3 real estate licenses, and I do management in 2 of them, and then I help out with mortgages in a couple states as well. So I committed to trying to make my life better. So the best way to do it is to get a license and get into the business, because unless you're born with money, you have no other access to this. So
So where are you at right now?
So Milwaukee. Is that what
Okay, so
you
you're in Milwaukee, doing what?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm on a mission basically to find acquire duplexes for our clients. There's a good little market here, and we needed a real estate agent. So basically, I got a license and I moved here. And now I'm helping move the money around.
That's pretty insane itself. The fact that you went from what, Arizona, and then I somehow magically convinced you to move to the coldest place on Earth and freeze to death.
Yeah, I mean it's lovely here actually.
Huh?
18 degrees actually burns your skin. I don't know if that's a scientific fact, but when I'm walking around, I can feel it
That's it.
through my
That's it.
clothes.
18 degrees. Man, just wait till it gets below zero, friendo. Just so everyone knows, I'm from Pennsylvania, where like below zero was the norm. I mean, not today, because it doesn't get as cold, I don't think, anymore. But yeah, just wait till it gets below zero, sir. And then the wind chill. Just wait till it's below zero. And they're like, well, it's actually -20 with wind chill. And you're like, oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your favorite like first steps Unreal story, and then let's talk real quick about your favorite Unreal Milwaukee story, and then we'll finish off the show with one of my Unreal stories of how I got in the business. So what's your favorite Unreal story when you first got your license and started doing real estate investing?
Yeah. So my first license was Arizona, where I come from. Basically, I met Lucas, and he coached me all the way through getting my license. We did some classes, and he told me how I could help him. So one of that was doing mobile homes, which is a really cool niche market that could come back one day if they ever prices come down.
Right? If anything comes down, right?
And but I remember not the first meeting I had with you, but like the first meeting of basically my real estate training outside of classes and Zoom, where was with other I actually when I had some other mentees that you did the Inspire program, so you had that guy, and then you had another one of your clients you brought. But it was our first eviction, and it was supposed to go.
Oh yeah, that's such a me thing. Hey guys, you want your first training? Let's go to an eviction.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, I just so everyone knows, I thought the eviction was going to be one of those, they were gone, it was going to be clean, and I thought we were just going to swap out the lock, but no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was my first eviction for sure, as sweet as that sounds. So, yeah, it was not unoccupied, and there were people home, and we had to kick them out. So, yeah.
Which is yeah, it was ugly. It was a very ugly eviction. Like so 9 times out of 10, usually the tenants are gone. So usually after you win a judgment in court, that 9 times out of 10 the tenants are gone and it's a clean eviction. You just swap the lockout, everything's fine. And then every once in a while you get like these really ugly ones where they got to get out right then. And the constable or the sheriff, whoever's doing the eviction, they give them 5 minutes to collect what they can and then get out. So yeah, so I was hoping it was going to be one of these really clean ones, and then the next thing I know. And as soon as she opened the door, I was like, oh God, what have I gotten? Like, I'm gonna scare off all my mentees because this is not this is it went from a beginner's class to a oh sweet mother of God advanced class within 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh no, oh, what have we done? Can you tell us? So tell us a little bit about the experience of going through that ugly experience, and then also talk about when you had to come back, because yeah, because she had to get access. She had to come back like what, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. And this was still when you were like like young, right? And you were like bringing a handgun with you and everything, and you were all like, "Oh man, this neighborhood's scary." And then now you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little
Well,
bit about all that.
yeah, it was definitely eye-opening as becoming a property manager. I was like a security guard for a very large apartment complex, but that did not have the same stories that I got from this one. Uh, I basically the lockout went really well. Poor Carlos, our friend, actually at breakfast told us he was like, "I have a family and I can't do this anymore." And
Yeah,
then
I might have ruined him, but like
and
I
after,
said, it wasn't supposed to be an ugly eviction. It's not my fault.
so after that, I was tasked with basically getting the property back and having, them help them get access to get their stuff out. And so I was young and dumb, and this was my first eviction, my doing a lockout, and basically I did not know I didn't have to meet up with them at 10 o'clock at night and then wait there for 3 to 5 hours till like 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning where I live across town. And yeah, so not my greatest time, but I learned that I would never do that again. So don't do don't do that at 10
Don't
p.m.
live on evicted people's schedules. Got it. Okay. You stayed in. What was the aspects of staying in that made you stay? Because, like I said, you could have been our other mentee who fell out. And but yeah, you stayed in. So why'd you stay in?
Yeah. Well, when you have no properties, I saw that it was the best way to, if I got paid the price to have experience with them, then I have to do management and evictions is just part of that. So, I mean, you got to do what's got to be done. And that's the job. And that's what I was introduced to. So at least it was the first thing. But after all in all, it's not that bad. Probably not for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. If anything we've said so far makes you go ew or then probably real estate investing is not for you, right? Obviously, there's a real estate investing where it's a lot cleaner. Like I said, if you do fix and flips and stuff like that, then those are a lot cleaner because there's no tenants. But I mean, the moment you get into long holds, eventually you're now in the people business, and people are nuts. It's the only thing I know. It's the only true fact I know is people are nuts. That's it. And that's why I have a very simple philosophy. Once somebody moves in, once I don't go to my properties ever again. I learned a long time ago. What you do is as soon as somebody moves into anything you own, it could be a luxury rental, it could be it could be a low income rental, it could be a middle income rental, doesn't matter. As soon as a tenant or anyone moves into one of my houses, I will never go there again. I because people are nuts. Okay, so that's the only thing I know is a true fact. So, all right, well then we talked about that. So let's talk about so what's your craziest Milwaukee? So so how long did you know me and were working with me that you got your crazy eviction story? Like what was it? Like a month or two?
That is a good question. I think we did probably classes maybe for we did classes together online for 9 months until I actually got licensed. When
But
we
once you
did,
had a license and you just like how long was it from like because technically the 9 months doesn't count, right? Because you're not in the game. Like the moment you have the license, that's when you're in the game. So from the day one of in the game, how quick was your first oh my god, what is happening experience?
gosh, I
I
gotta.
had to be within a few months. Like it was literally because
Oh, I
because it
know.
wasn't because it was this was completely I didn't plan for any of this. It's just as a guy who does this kind of stuff for a living, every now and again I'm like, oh, teaching moments, right? So that's just been my style for many years. Is sometimes you just have a class anywhere at any time, and it's just opportunity class, right? Because how often do you get to go hang out in eviction? And the whole funny thing was, I didn't even think this was going to happen. My entire experience was, oh, cool. We're going to go see a property. We're going to go, take a look. We'll get to see how to do a damage report, how to just, do not fun stuff, but more entertaining things than watching, putting a family in the street, which is terrible. But I mean, and that's not what I wanted. So, but yeah, so basically, it had to have been what, like at least within a few months, right?
Yeah, actually, within the first month, I remember not it was like the first or second lease I did. It was at the one property with the two houses on one lot. There was a dog attack. It attacked me and a 12-year-old in front of these tenants that I was trying to move in, and the tenants still moved in. So
Oh yeah.
that was
It's
good.
quick, huh? It's quick. Oh yeah, I completely forgot you got attacked by a dog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, and you're still here. Wow. Look at that. You got attacked by a dog. You had to you were so afraid for your safety that you brought a gun to like your second or third eviction. And all this happened within what, like 2, 3 months?
Yep. Yeah,
Trial by fire, my friend. Trial by fire.
yes, which I learned you should you carry a baton on you. I mean, it's not sharp, it's not deadly. You can, that's not a gun. It's not going to threaten anyone, but it definitely scares dogs.
Hey, there you go. If Billings, Montana, if you didn't learn anything today, batons, dogs are scared of batons. There you go. We did not learn anything today. That's what you learned. So yeah, so that's just how quick. Just so everyone has understanding, this is how unreal it gets. And this is kind of the genesis of how we came up with the show, is because for the longest time, I've actually just like when I don't know if you guys heard my introduction, but for the longest time, when I was younger, I had a friend who was an EMT, right? So I had a friend who was an EMT, and he used to just tell me these gory stories of all the things he'd have to go deal with, post death, right? So it started when I was very young in a small town in Pennsylvania, and basically he used to just tell me these, and then eventually I used to just ask all the time, hey, any cool new stories? What's going on? I mean, because I'm from a boring town, so anything that's new and exciting is awesome in my world. So, but it started out with I asked my buddy, hey, what is a cool new story? And he's like, oh, we had to pull a guy out of a wood chipper, and I'm just like, and it's funny because it's like the longer you hang out with us, the more you realize like this is just the nature of us. Like we're very matter of the fact. I mean, the guy, he had a log, and the log caught his sleeve, and the sleeve went into the wood chipper, and he went, and then my buddy, in his nonchalant gallows humor way, is like, yeah, and it turns out wood chippers aren't used to chip bodies, so it only went halfway through, and we had to rip them out the other half. It only got stuck, and we had to rip them out. And I'm sitting here going like, oh sweet God. And he's just like, yeah, well, you get used to it after a while. Anyway, but we're sitting here and we're falling back because we can't get proper footage and trying to rip this guy out of this wood chipper. And we're slipping and falling because all the blood. And I'm like, ah. So in my brain, I'm just imagining like the Three Stooges slapsticking, trying to get this guy out of a wood chipper, being like, ah. Oh, anyway, that's how I ended up just now every time I meet new people. And because of how unreal some of these stories are in this business, is I just started asking everyone I know, and new guy, I'm like, oh, dude, what's your best, worst, or funniest story from what you do? All right. Well, thank you for coming on, but let's talk about how I got into the business. So about 15 years ago, God, it's been 15 years already. So 15 years ago, I bought one of my very first properties, and I bought it for like 40 grand, and it was a crack den, right? So how do I know it was a crack den? It was because I got a showing by the crackhead who literally was like, oh, wow. And it's so weird to me because he actually gave me a tour like he was a real estate agent. He's just like, and here's the kitchen, and here's the backyard with two Rottweilers who look like they haven't been fed and are gonna rip your throat out. But here's the backyard, and then he's like he literally did that. Like, oh yeah, and here's the upstairs, newer flooring, and I'm just sitting here, newer flooring, and I was like, oh my God, I'm literally getting I'm getting a tour by a drug addict. This is awesome. So, like I said, this is the second house I ever bought, ever. And I'm getting a tour by a drug addict. Like this is the greatest day of my life, right? So, the long story short is And like in the corner, there was like stolen radios because they just had radio parts like in the corner. So like we're talking stolen radio parts. There's like 3 beds in the living room. Because if you don't know, the natural enemy of crackheads is stairs, right? Because if you're rolling off your butt and you fall downstairs, then you die, right? So most of the time, if you ever get in a crack den, most of the beds are always like they don't really venture upstairs very often because natural enemy of crackheads. Go figure. But yeah, no, but it's funny because I was just amazed. I completely was bypassing all that, and I was just like, oh wow, it has a new stove and the floor is new, right? So I was completely just bypassing all the things that makes me don't buy this. Oh God. But anyway, second house I ever bought. That was my experience, and the best part is when I closed it. So, and the reason there was a crackhead in the place anyway, because the crackhead was the cousin of the owner, but the owner didn't tell the cousin that he was selling it. So what ended up happening is I bought the place and the crackheads didn't leave, right? And the crackheads didn't leave, so I had to basically get them out. So I called the police. And the police show up, and one crackhead knew magic words and one crackhead didn't know magic words. So magic words are, I have an oral lease with the landlord. Apparently, those are magic words, which now allows them not to leave anymore. So anyway, long story short was the police were like, well, we can get rid of him, but we can't get rid of the other one because they use magic words. And I'm like, oh God, well, I know they're crackheads, right? And he says, yeah. And I'm like, and you know they're crackheads, right? And he says, yeah. And I'm like, well, can you just like scare the living hell out of them so they leave and I can come back tomorrow and change the locks? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. So he like turns around, walks up to him. And he's like, if you're not here by noon tomorrow, I'm bringing the dogs and we're going to pay your prison for the rest of your lives. And you see these crackheads go white as ghosts. And I'm just sitting there going like, man, I hope this works. So I show up the next day, with a security guard from the HOA, just so everyone knows this place is an HOA because it's a fine living establishment. Anyway, this HOA gives me this security guard, and the security guard just got out of rehab. So he's as cracked out as the people I just got rid of, right? So anyway, so this security guard is talking to me like a drug addict, and he's like, man, I just got out of the halfway house, dude. And I'm like, fantastic. Get rid of one, give it a new one. How fantastic. So I'm swapping out these locks, right? And next thing you know, he's like, you should turn this place into a halfway house. And I'm like, maybe. And he's like, yeah, you could get like $5 or $500 a head if you turn this into a halfway house. And I'm just sitting here in my head going, I'm changing out these locks, getting real estate advice from a guy who just got out of a halfway house. I'm like, yeah, this is the business for me. This is the greatest day of my life. Right now, I just got rid of crackheads. I was giving a crackhead to watch over me while I swap out these locks, and he's giving me real estate advice. This is my career. I'll never do anything else other than this. This is too good to get out, right? So yeah, that was how I got into the business, was basically that. And now I've been doing it for 15 years, and now I have a show about it. So exciting. So, but yeah. That's pretty much Karl. He's only been in it for 3 years. Those are his stories. I've been in it for 15. That's how I got into this business. Please check in next week for the new show. And if you are interested in being on the show, please inquire within, and we will talk about all our unreal stories and what goes on every day. But thanks, Billings, Montana, for having me this week. And I hope we have a repeat of this show for a very long time. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I guess, Karl, you have anything else?
Nope. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And thank you for coming on the show. And you'll probably be a regular because, we have crazy things happening every day. So.
Done.
All righty. All right. Thank you.
Are you living with a difficult homeowners association? Then you're not going to want to miss the upcoming episode on HOAs behaving badly. We can learn a lot from the squirrel, but do you know where all your nuts are? You need a plan and a right-hand man. Learn how you can achieve FIRE, gain financial independence, and retire early. Call Lucas Thomas, your right-hand man in financial planning today at 602-885-1148 or visit rhmreal.com. If tomorrow never came, or life threw you a curveball, what if something happened while you were away? It's not what you leave them, it's what you teach them. Get the only course today you'll ever need to build your family's financial future. Get started at jjjinvesting.com. Meet Tony Lee, rising country singer and artist. He's a husband, father, and All-American, celebrating his roots with the release of his new album, The American Dream, now available on Amazon Music. Serving up the comfort food of country with favorites such as Back to Nashville.
Now there's no Loretto, cash is long gone. The spirit of their music still lingers on. Slowly pull to the side of the road, 'cause I turned on the radio.
Sweet Mansfield Dreams.
Sweet little Mansfield is where they lay me to rest. These tidal bones as my soul flies on like an eagle leaving its nest.
Get your copy today at Amazon Music. That's rising star Tony Lee and his album The American Dream.